always.
All right. How y'all doing? Slow my ass. How are y'all doing?
We're talking about your comments, Aaron, and how Charles is not doing what even my aunt told him to do, is get a new profile picture.
Yes. So he did catch your comments, Aaron. Number one, it is good to see you in. And yes, the profile picture it's coming. Yes, Patrick's Aunt Tareen has said something about that as well. And there's a lot that is coming for this show. So with that,
hey, and you take your homeboy out for a beer when he gets back. Join the show. Take him for a beer, join the show.
Welcome.
We're showing the show and then take him for a beer and then showing the show again because we're that good.
Welcome to the BOFA Sports Webcast. It is time to breathe again, and we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And here we are, Patrick and me, Charles. So let's jump right into the Final Four. The Final Four is set with all number one seeds.
Isn't this the first time in a long time?
Since 2008.
2008. Oh, and did you see the women's bracket? They almost had all number ones too.
Yep, they got
three. Who was it? Was it UCLA?
No, yeah, UConn.
UConn effed it up and had to beat US. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. That team doesn't need to win in any sport.
So, and on that note, man, I know with US.
Oh, crap. See, Aaron, we're all taking a drink right now. All right.
No, you didn't know. You didn't even mention it.
I just mentioned it there, so I got to take a drink.
You're cheating. You're cheating just because you want to drink.
You
didn't mention his name.
Shut up, Russell Williamson.
So you're cheating.
Russell Williamson.
You're cheating. Stop cheating. But on that note, Juju Watkins, we had forgot to talk about that injury, but she gotten hurt in the second round of the tournament. So, look, taking nothing away from UConn and them being able to get to the Final Four. But at this point of seasons, especially, you want to try to see the teams to as much of their full capacity as possible. Yeah. And Juju Watkins getting hurt, that was kind of a downer on the women's tournament.
You know what?
At least she gets a speedy recovery and she'll be back to strong next year. But yeah, you have South Carolina, Texas, and UConn and UCLA in the Final Four over on the women's side. And in the men's side, you have Florida, Duke, Houston, and Auburn, all number one seeds making it. First time since 2008, and that's the second time in history because 2008 was the only other time that you had all number one seeds making it all the way to this point. So you have the Final Four, which is taking place in my hometown of San Antonio, Texas. And
it's a fine time to move.
I know. It's all right. I mean, I've been out of San Antonio for a little bit. But
still.
But hey, that is let's see. Okay, let's see what Aaron says. Aaron said, as long as Oriema and Kim Mulkey are out, I don't care who wins. So the Gino and Oriema, I get that one because UConn seems to always be there. And then you got, what Dawn Staley's doing in South Carolina is ridiculous. And then Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, she's probably going to put another one. I mean, in the women's bracket, I had South Carolina winning the whole thing, but so she's probably going to put another ring on her finger. So,
and Kim Mulkey, I don't know. So there's something that came out where I guess one of the reporters, and I've been in one of these press conferences or one of these style press conferences where you have a good amount of reporters sitting there. You want
to talk about the Braves?
Well,
dude, as soon as we got swept by San Diego, I was like, wipe it. Wipe the whole team, get a new one. I'm calling it now because this is BS.
This is crazy, y'all. There's 162 games in the season, man. We can't be throwing the season away because of the first weekend.
Remember what I told you? Remember what I told you yesterday? I was like, hey, I saw this thing come across my feed. It said the Dodgers, Cardinals, Padres, and
Yankees.
They're all still in the hunt for 162-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'll probably lose next week.
Yeah, yes, Aaron. We're gonna get on the Torpedo bats thing. But before we get there, so you have all 4 number 1 seeds. I guess. Look, so we both have Florida coming in here, winning the whole. But before we came on the air, we were talking about what we had seen throughout the tournament. And I got to tell you, Patrick, and I know you agreed with this, Duke's been the most impressive team in this tournament so far.
Yeah. I mean, I have to commend Cooper Flag, man. This is what I saw about him. Round 2, he got hit in the eye. And I swear I thought it looked glazed over like he was blind. And, man, any other person would have came out, and that dude came out, and I was like, I mean, I knew he was whatever, like all the people in ESPN call him a dog, he's a dog, whatever. No, that dude's a beast. He came out and hit a fadeaway jump shot, hook shot, layup. And I was like, dude, this dude's like Cyclops right now. He's like shooting like this. And he's making them. He has no problems. I was like, well, okay, yeah, I give credit where credit's due. So not only is Flag doing his thing, but man, the rest of the team is playing just really well. So.
And that's the thing with Duke as well, man. They don't need. If Cooper Flag is not playing well, they have other guys like Con Kneppel, and Tyrese Proctor.
Only thing, every time you start mentioning these names that are weird, I always think about Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Goose Boozer.
The point shower handle, yes. Yes, Aaron, that is the old Coastal Carolina coach. Who was talking about, we don't need no cats, we don't need to look good. You remember that whole press conference he did? We don't need to look good. How does my clothes look? Be a dog. And don't mention Key and Peele. Wait a minute, Aaron.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron. Balake.
Yeah.
Shaq Hennessy.
He nice, like that. Oh my goodness.
I will send you to Oshag Hennessy.
Yeah. You mean O'Shaughnessy? Get the hell out of here.
Chadas? That's what Churlish? Insubordinate. God, some of the best skits, dude. Some of the best skits.
Look, the good thing about it, Aaron, is it's your name is not quite spelled like Aaron Rodgers' name. You got 2 R's in there instead of the 1. So you can take comfort in that a little bit.
That's the reason why he gets AA rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably be in jail by now because I would have shot somebody. But like, don't.
Like, don't you?
Hey, Ron. Okay.
You see people coming up with the look, and then I can see Aaron looking at them like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Swear.
Shut up! You shut the
I swear.
Yeah, oh boy. So let me see. He says something about the he's from Wisconsin, so people thought I was named after Aaron Rodgers. Oh gosh. Yeah, you was born way before that, I guess. And so you're not named.
Maybe he was named after you.
Me?
No.
my bad.
Why would he be named after you?
I don't.
Hey, look, it's Charles Taylor. Let's name him. Let's name Aaron Rodgers after him.
Forgive me. I've been a little bit under the weather. Don't worry about me. I'm a mess right now. Also, sorry. But on the Final Four thing, so you got going back over to the women's side. Aaron had mentioned Kim Mulkey, and Kim Mulkey was in this press conference where she was, I guess, one of the reporters was asking her questions. This is the second year in a row LSU has been knocked out in the Elite Eight. This time it was by UCLA. And before he could finish the question, she's like, "Oh, really? So how many times have you been to the Final Four?" And it's like, man, come on, man. Why are we like, that's low hanging fruit? Why are we going after reporters like that? I have been in one of those rooms, Patrick. Let me tell you, it's no fun. Where you're in this scrum of reporters, and everybody's trying to get in a place where they can ask a question to said coach or said person that's up there at the desk. And it's a hot mess. Normally, I don't even ask questions because I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with these people a lot of times. And so, but then you get up there, you're trying to ask a question because you don't want to look, there's pressure on the reporters because they don't want to look stupid in front of everybody. And then you have people like that. And look, I'll be the first one to acknowledge media members, as a member of the media myself, we can ask some very dumb questions. Absolutely, we can. But this wasn't one of those questions. He was going to get to the point about what can you do to get over that hump on the next time or something in that regard. And then Kim Mulkey does that. I just think it's garbage.
Yeah, I mean, but she's been that way for years. And I mean, I didn't watch the press conference because I was more happy that LSU went out. And this is coming from an SEC fan. I was more happy because I don't really care for her coaching style. So I didn't care. I was just glad that she was out. But I mean, hell, I didn't even have LSU going into the Elite Eight. I had them going out in the Sweet 16. So
it's still just garbage, man. Again, I understand. Look, it's tough because you're coming in, you just lost a game, you have the chance to go to the Final Four, so I can understand you being a little bit salty. But that reporter didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, and then putting him in that situation where, like, well, have you been there? Look. What was the point in that comment? You know what I mean? There's no reason, and a lot of times I just kind of ask myself, like, what's the point in even asking her a question? You know, she's gonna be a total asshole about it. So,
right. And Aaron said, I would have said, well, unlike your marriage, I actually still have a ring. So who's really been there?
Well, she ain't, even if she got married, she ain't gonna stay married long. she'll go out in the Sweet 16 and that too. 16 days into marriage. How far did you make it? Sweet 16.
Not necessarily cutting down the nets on that one, huh? So before we move on, so of course we have Florida winning this whole thing. So I guess if it's not going to be Florida, which out of the other three teams, out of Duke, Auburn, and Houston, are you looking forward to?
I mean, so I look at the games, and you got Florida and Auburn, Duke and Houston, right? I would agree with you. Duke has been the most impressive. I will also say Houston has been probably one of the more dominant. So I will probably lean towards Houston and thinking that they would. I mean, I think they're a good team, and even before, I mean, I had Alabama beating them, but Houston has looked really good too. So I would lean towards Houston.
Houston's defense is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna be an interesting game with Duke because you have some contrasting styles there. Duke has shown they can play slow down ball, but these Houston players, they get into you. I mean, they are physical, they're in your face.
And they prove they can win with 60 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can slow it down on Houston, but you're not playing to their disadvantage. They can slow the ball down with you as well.
Probably prefer it.
Probably would prefer it. So I mean, I look at Houston, I look at Duke, and Duke, like I said, I mean, I agree with you 100%. They were the most impressive, but man, between Florida and Houston and Florida are just complete teams. You can slow it down on both of those teams, though I will tell you, Florida will force you to play their ball. But you can slow it down on Houston, man, and they'll go with it and beat you in the 60s, or they'll beat you in the 90s, whichever one you prefer, you know.
The one thing I'll say about Florida, when they beat Texas Tech in the Elite Eight, that sometimes it just comes down to making plays. And I got to tell you, Patrick, Texas Tech was bringing it to Florida in the second half. But Walter Clayton Jr. hit some shots.
Every one of them. I think that dude went on a 14-0 run himself.
Yeah, and then the glue guy for Florida is Houck. I mean, the dude Thomas Houck came on there. Now he hit the three that got them started. And then Texas Tech missed a couple of front ends of one-on-ones in the foul line, and it looked like they got a little tight. Got a little tight. They had a 9-point lead with 3 minutes to go, and Florida just kept the pressure on, and Tech kind of wilted. Wilted under the pressure there. When you miss 2 front ends of 1-and-1 free throws, it'd be that. Get your free throws. Like that's that situational thing. That's a situational thing you practice all the time. And Tech didn't make the plays down the stretch. Florida did, and Florida is here. And again, Walter Clayton goes on a run by himself. The 1-3 he hit where he just backed it out and then just shot it. I just said, oh, wow. Like, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah, when he made that one, I was like, I don't know if Florida's going to be able to be beat at that point. Because if you're hitting like that in a game of basketball, that's contagious. And then, like we've always said, if your front court is playing, or your back court is playing like that, forget it. They're that hot, forget it. You can't beat them. I don't care what team it is. I mean, I remember when we was talking about this when Syracuse was playing many years ago, and they were hot. And man, like if their backcourt was on fire, even Syracuse running out their 6'1" players running up and down the court, they still couldn't be beat. So no, it's Florida got a team, man.
Very, very loaded, deep team that can go 10 deep on their bench and big men everywhere. So yeah, and that's the thing. Like Texas Tech threw everything at them, and they're still there. And so
they didn't like wilter or crumble or anything. They just played ball like what they do. So
you still think Florida can probably hit another gear too? Like that. That's what's scary about them.
Yeah. And congratulations to one of these coaches. One of these coaches is going to be their first win. So. Yep.
So, let's get on to a little bit of this coaching carousel. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I am all messed up today. So
you're bad today.
So that's okay. Patrick, if I say you gotta kind of host it, man, it's all right. We'll just make sure that it does not go past 2 hours. And so,
I'm ready.
Do not, Patrick, don't act like you cannot keep it under time. I've seen your shorties. Not act like you get that long-winded.
Hey, look, it's called a shorty for a reason. This is called a webcast. It's not. It doesn't have another name after that.
No.
It does not have another name. I go as long as I want to.
No, because the shorties, you can make it a longie, and we know you can make it a longie.
But it's not called a longie. It's called a shorty. It's a BOFA sports shorty.
Don't see here. Now all of a sudden you're following rules. Come on now.
Well, apparently you're.
So what? You know it's true.
Dude, I forgot. When are we going to do a freaking hockey show?
It's on there. I was actually going to talk about a little bit of hockey later on today because I'm in a spot where we are watching a chase with Alex Ovechkin chasing Wayne Gretzky to see if he could break the all-time scoring record.
Yeah. 891.
Mm-hmm. But the college carousel there, the college coaching carousel, you had Buzz Williams. He is the old Texas A&M coach, and now he is the coach up here in Maryland. Now, this is after the Maryland coach, Kevin Willard, decided to take the same job in Villanova. Now, I guess I think about it where, from the standpoint of, I guess it would depend on how transparent the coach is. If he's one of those people who's saying, I'm here with y'all, man. I miss y'all. I love y'all. I'm all about y'all. I'm here for the long haul. And then all of a sudden, they got a position. I'm out.
Hey, hold on. They offered me a plane over here in Villanova. Dude. I'm out like a fat kid in dodgeball. And so then you look at the position. So if Buzz Williams is moving from Texas A&M in the SEC, which was the best conference this year and one of the best conferences you've seen in the history of college basketball, according to the teams that the records they held. You have 2 SEC teams in the Final Four right now. And then you go to Maryland. And I just wonder, is that a step up? I don't know if you are necessarily moving on up there in terms of, well, all right, well, maybe you'll have a better chance to win at Maryland because the competition in the Big Ten's not as much as it would be in the SEC, but I don't know. Some of these moves are a little weird to me. Iffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at some of them. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know all of them, but I did squint my eyes and be like,
Why?
I mean, you could have literally, like the Texas A&M. Who was that?
Buzz Williams.
Buzz Williams. All right. Buzz Williams. Okay. Taking this guy and going, okay, I'm leaving Texas A&M and I'm going to Maryland, right? All you had to do is go up to the athletic director and talk about pay. Literally bring it up, because Texas A&M was not a slouch of a team this year, by no means. I mean, geez, I think they went, what'd they go, 17-1 outside of conference, something crazy like that. 16-1, whatever they play outside of conference. I don't know right off the top of my head. But I mean, if you only lose one game, one or two games, whatever it was, if you only lose that many outside of conference, that, like, you can probably go into the athletic director and make a bid for in your contract.
I'll just let you read the comment, Patrick.
Here's what's funny. now all I see is is all the SEC athletic directors walking into Walmart. And there's that big old bin, and there's a bunch of coaches out there dancing like this, trying to get. Hey, look at me! Look at the price! Look at the price!
The discount coaches bin, and that was, and that, Aaron, that was where I was going. Where I said coaching recycle. If there's so many young, up and coming coaches that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
How are they not? Yeah, like how are they not getting opportunities here? And we, the athletic departments here, just find it so quick to try to get whatever big name or whatever guy, whatever guy who has been coaching for a while. I don't understand. What did Aaron say? What would only make his time better is if he gets a recruit named Woody. We're gonna go back to Toy Story. But yeah, yeah.
When he said that, the only thing that came to my head was "To Maryland and Beyond."
We going back to Toy Story. Those are good movies, by the way. But
To Maryland and Beyond.
But yeah, I don't. It's crazy to me because that's all we keep hearing. Let anybody tell it. There is so many good up and coming coaching prospects. You have these guys who have been in said Division II or said Division III school, and they are chomping at the bit. And those schools know it. I mean, those schools understand they're not going to be able to keep those coaches unless the coach truly has found that home and he wants to stay there.
Yeah.
And he's good with it. But in most cases, everything is a come up. Everything is a step.
And those coaches are going to want to grow. Want to grow. Yeah. So it just sounded weird when I said that. All the coaches are going to want to grow. It sounded like I was rapping. But those coaches are looking for their next opportunity, and if you're in a D2 college, it's not going to take you long, especially if you get a good offer, to move to D1. And at that point, it don't matter what school it is. Then after you build that program up, then you can look at that next big school that gives you the opportunity to win a championship. So I mean, you're in coaching not only to raise men, obviously, but you're also there to build a legacy and put some jewelry on your finger. Let's be honest, and get that bag. Everybody wants that bag. You know what I mean? So no D2 college can afford a coach like that. So yeah, you got a lot of prospects. So to keep going after these old fogies that think that they're coaches and really not, that makes sense.
The recycle bin, basically, or as Aaron put it, the discount coaches bin. And say if that's what you're gonna do as any school, then no. These other up and coming coaches we keep hearing about, no, they're not going to get a chance. So I think you, at some point, if you were whatever power conference school, if you were about a program build, the commitment, number one, has to come from you. And you staying there for 2-3 seasons, that's not enough. That's just a commitment to say, all right, I got some footing, I built a foundation here. All right, I'm out. And if you're not going to commit yourself to it, how the hell are you going to expect a coach, especially a player?
Yeah, nobody's going to show loyalty. No, and loyalty's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's overrated.
Yeah, it's overrated. Overrated and underpaid. That's what loyalty is.
And then, so on that note, so once Kevin Willard left, Maryland had pretty much a mass exodus. A lot of guys entering the transfer portal. And that's another thing. So you get bounced out of the tournament, and now all of a sudden it's a mass exodus to the transfer
Mass
portal.
exodus, free for all. Everybody's got to go.
Yeah.
Even the Gatorade packets are growing legs.
Yeah.
they're going.
What
Did
happened?
we get bounced? I don't know, Terry. Did we get bounced?
Yo, you see the orange flavored packet looking over at the grate, and it's like, oh man, we here for the long haul, right? Yeah. Red packet over there though. I'm out.
I'm going to Florida.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna be wanted down in Florida.
Yeah, I know, man. That's where they invented it. I'm going. Bye. What about Houston? Florida.
That is so bad. Let me see. Aaron says, why does Maryland have Old Bay alternate jerseys? Aaron, because Maryland's all about Old Bay up here. It's like the Old Bay seasoning and all that other stuff, crab cakes. So it's a nod to the heritage, at least. They're not just saying, yo, we want to look like a bunch of Old Bay season packets.
It always made me wonder what Oregon would do if they were there.
Yeah. and another thing, what happened to, man, these are my brothers. These are my brothers, man. Shoot, I'll go.
We go to war with my brothers.
Yeah, I'll go to
Oh,
battle.
wait, we didn't make the playoffs?
Yeah. Yo, one foot.
I gotta look out for my career.
one foot's already out the door.
This is what it looks like. So, hey man, Charles, I'm always gonna be here. Wait, you said what? We're not gonna do the webcast tomorrow? I'm out.
Goodness. Let's go to the.
Oh, let me bring up a topic. Okay. I want to tell you how BS this is. How about what in baseball? How about what Georgia did?
What did Georgia do?
Swept Auburn, and now they're 28-2, and they still didn't get ranked higher than Arkansas or Tennessee. I'm like, who did Arkansas beat? The freaking committee? Arkansas beat the committee and said, look, if you put Georgia above me, we're going to do this again. Like, what did Georgia got to do? You just beat the 11th ranked Auburn and you still couldn't get past Arkansas? Okay.
Patrick.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, that Georgia team is freaking crazy good, dude.
Yeah, I have to. I had seen some. Who's number one? Who's number one right now?
Tennessee is 26-2. Arkansas is second at 26-3, and Georgia's third at 28-2.
Yeah, and Tennessee's your defending champs right now as well.
Yep.
So and they return everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat Tennessee. When it comes down to it.
And then to round off the top five, Florida State and Texas.
Okay, yeah.
Your Longhorns are number 5, dude. They had a good weekend too.
We've been playing good ball, man. I mean, I like on both sides, baseball and softball. I am looking forward to getting into those seasons when they do start coming closer to the College World Series and those regionals.
I'm already in it.
I love baseball, dude. Shoot. Well, speaking of baseball, so let's get on to these torpedo bats.
You're welcome for your transition, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, I figured you were gonna get me there in some way, shape, or form because it was baseball. So, so that's why I just said, all right, cool. But I appreciate it. Torpedo bats. So the New York Yankees went off on this home run craze, which, I mean, if you think about it, anyone who has been following baseball for a while, this is not out of the ordinary. Maybe this is a little bit over the top compared to even the normal Yankees, because we know the Yankees are a home run strikeout team. We get that amount.
Yeah.
But apparently these new Torpedo bats have surfaced. But basically what the Torpedo bat is, okay, let's get this out the way first. The Yankees aren't breaking they're not breaking any rules. All right. So anybody who is over here trying to say, oh, this is the evil empire, the evil empire striking again here. No, the Yankees are not breaking any rules. And basically the Torpedo bat, you're just moving the torpedo surface. I didn't even mean for the pun there, Aaron. I'm glad it came through though. Oh goodness, maybe I need to be sick more. These puns are.
Hold on, no, Aaron, Northwestern is not going to win.
But
no, they're not. They would need torpedo bats.
Yeah,
they're going to win.
But basically, you have your normal bat, and of course, you have what is called the meaty part of the bat, coming up toward the top. Aaron says, "I know Charles be doing that subliminal reference when it comes to dropping bars off camera." You are so right, Aaron. You're so right.
We should do it behind the scenes just so he can hear you. Charles got some of them double and triple entendres going on too.
I've been known to drop some fire on the streets.
Turn my headphones up.
Yeah, I'm on that underground. The underground, though. Just
because you put velvet in the headphones don't mean
mixtapes.
He got shot in the ear like 8 or 9 times.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick, look out for the BOFA Sports mixtape. But the Torpedo bats, basically, you have the meaty part of the bat moving down the bat. So in the part of the bat where normally you can throw a good pitch, you jam the hitter up, that part of the bat splinters.
Mm-hmm.
And like it splinters off, it shatters the bat. Now, with that meaty part moved down a little bit, now it's solid contact. And if you are in a one of our juiced ballparks, like Yankee Stadium is.
Like Yankee Stadium or Philly.
Yeah, or Citizens Bank Park in Philly. Here's another reference for you, Aaron. I mean, Miller Park in Milwaukee, ball jumps off out of there. But a lot of these ballparks have very favorable dimensions for hitters. And definitely Yankee Stadium is one of those. So,
especially over in right field when an infant can hit it out.
Patrick, seriously, what are the dimensions there? It's like 315, right?
Down, like right there on that right field line?
Yeah.
I don't think that's 315, right? Bro. I think that's like 230.
230? we going little league style?
I seriously think it's little league. I'll look it up.
I think it's 315.
There's no way. There's no way an infant can hit it out of that part.
He said 230. But yeah, it is. The Yankees are making the adjustments, and it appears they are basically doubling down on we gotta try to score as many runs as possible. And okay, Aaron's coming with it. Let's see what Aaron says. Aaron says
314.
See, even still though, dude, that is real short, man. Like most of them are at least 325.
Well, left field is 318 at the pole.
Jeez.
So right field is 314 and left field is 318, and that's at the poles.
He said, so Aaron says, how there isn't a standard field size for baseball yet is insane. Every other sport, every other sport, the boundaries. And MLB, it's just kind of, if you hit a ball off the squirrel in right, it's gone. But I shouldn't need trivia to know how far back the wall is in baseball.
I really think the only thing that's a standard is the backstop. I think the backstop has to be over 50 feet. I think that's the only standard. And I mean, I could be wrong about that. I haven't really thought about it. I just know that most of them are around that 50-ish foot backstop. That's the only thing I know. But yeah, I agree. I mean, most of these fields, I mean, some of them are just ridiculous. You know, what was the stadium that had the flagpole in center field?
I want to say there was a few of those.
I remember they had the fence fixed where it would come up and then it went around the flagpole so that and players had to play around it.
I want to say it was the old Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I think that does sound right.
But that center field was stupid long. Well, not as long as actually. Yes, you're right, Aaron. It was Minute Maid Park.
Minute Maid
whatever
Park.
it's called now.
But I think, and if I recall correctly, I mean, I could be wrong about this too. Wasn't center field like 440?
Yeah, and Houston has the hill. Houston had that hill in center field too. But yeah, I mean, like you said, that was 440. I remember the old Tiger Stadium in Detroit was 440. And even where the Tigers play at now, Comerica Park, that's 425, 430 to straightaway center.
And straightaway center in Yankee Stadium is 408.
Yeah, so it's just it is real consistent. I do agree with you there, Aaron, that it is real inconsistent with the dimensions of these parks. And it seems the only thing that is consistent is how short it is to right field. Like a lot of these right fields are around 315, 320. So if you can get a little bit of a lip there, don't let it be a nice, warm summer day. That bad boy's in the second deck. Easy.
Yeah. You know what? If I build a park, you know what I would do?
What?
Straightaway center. 609. Just to be different. Just to be different. Right field. 212. Just to see what people would say.
So, oh gosh. So I think so. Back with the torpedo bats. I still think what it's going to come down to is when you move through the playoffs, get to the wild card series, and then the division series, and then the championship series. Pitchers will make the adjustment. And again, if it's away from the sweet spot, you're still going to have to find a way to adjust and hit the ball. So whatever you do with the bats, you want to use torpedo bats, you want to move sweet spots down the that sounds gross what I was about to say. I was going to say you want to move it down the shaft, but terrible.
You get on to me for the things I say.
I know. No, that was awful. I know. So terrible there. Yeah. But when you move the mini part down,
yeah, it doesn't sound better.
So, yeah.
I mean, you have really turned this show into softcore porn right now. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I have my moments. Sorry. My discipline has kind of gone out the window today.
Oh well. Oh well.
But yes, even still, pitchers still stay out of the sweet spots, stay out of the heart of the plate. You still pitch away, sliders, steady diet of it. And this is the hitters trying to catch up with the pitching. It's a constant back and forth, trying to gain some sort of an advantage. And this is the hitter's turn to do that. So we'll see how the pitchers adjust to it.
Yeah. And I mean, look.
And the Yankees aren't the only ones using these torpedo bats either, by the way.
Nah, the other 30 teams are probably using them too. We all know Houston's using them. So, not only are they stealing signs, they're using torpedo bats and heavier balls when they're pitching. So,
I'll allow it.
Houston's got blue balls when they're pitching.
Yeah.
Look, regardless of the situation, and this is kind of how I feel about torpedo bats. Look, if you're going to use them, use them. But you know what? Here's my thing. If you're going to use torpedo bats, I think you should allow shifts back. I mean, I never saw a problem with the shifts anyway. College still uses it, and you do got the pitch, you got the pitch clock. So you got a lot of things that work for you in speeding up the game anyway. Now you want to implement torpedo bats. And what does that do? Lengthens the game because more runs are scored. So you're really kind of counterproductive by allowing them in. So my personal opinion is to help speed that up, put the shift back in, and let the pitchers adjust that way. I mean, that's my personal opinion on it. If you're gonna allow the hitters to have an advantage, allow the defense to have an advantage and put the shifts back in and allow them, because that will help with because what did the Yankees hit that game like 9 home runs, 3 in the first, and all of them were on the first 3 pitches or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of the situation, all it really does by using torpedo bats, all it really does lengthens the fat part of the bat, and now you're less likely to get jammed, which obviously is going to stop with the splintering of the bat, and I guess is MLB's way of protecting the field when how the bat would break and it would shoot off into the field. I mean, it makes sense because there's a lot of times where even when I played in men's baseball leagues, I was out playing shortstop and I had to jump over a barrel of a bat to field a ball. You know what I mean? It really kind of messes up with the game, when it comes to that. But I mean, if you're going to implement that, allow the shift back and lower the mound. Lower the mound and let the pitchers adjust to being the ball being a little lower on the pitch. So let it go.
Yeah, and so yeah, and I'm with you. I don't see. There's no issues here. There's no crazy conspiracy theory going on here. This is just
if
something.
Everybody can do it, then I don't see a problem with it. It's just like the whole new thing between the catcher and the pitcher with the communication with the earbuds. I mean, like if everybody does it, then it's not really cheating.
Yeah.
It's not cheating if everybody can do it. I just say, I don't have a problem with it. It does kind of help solidify not getting injured in the infield, but implement the shift back, lower the mound, and give the pitcher their advantage over torpedo bats.
Yeah. So,
I don't know how far you would lower it, but I mean, inch and a half, lower an inch and a half.
Yeah, and I guess you look at it like a couple of years ago. You remember Sticky Gate was the main thing there.
Who was in charge of making the names? That's like Sticky Gate.
Because you had the whole spider tack issue and how much grip was being used for the ball. Like I said, like for me, I would take that.
Who was it? Max Scherzer got kicked out of like 7 games because
Yes, dude. Because Scherzer's like, "What are y'all doing? Like, I'm not doing anything here." And
like your entire face is glistening right now. I mean, you get
that Scherzer was glistening on some of the
I was like, man, this dude looked like he was like drenched in it on one side. You could tell he was like, and he would do this right here.
Yeah, and he was. And
Not even trying to hide it anymore.
And Max Scherzer is like, he's an intense guy when he's out there, so it doesn't take too much for him to get worked up anyway. And I think it was a game in Los Angeles. Yeah, they threw him out, and that dude was he was drenched.
Yeah, he was. But you know what's funny is, like, remember the guy that remember the umpire that threw him out? I swear I thought that dude was going to throw his arm out because he was like,
yeah, yo, he put everything into that throw out. Like, he had been saving that one. Yes,
dude, he was waiting. Dude, I thought that was so funny. And then was that the game I called you on and was like, seriously, again?
Yeah.
You got thrown out again?
Yes. Because I was sitting there and I was actually I was at work at the time. Like, I had a job. For those who didn't know, I had a job at a company where I was writing all these sports stories, and I was actually looking at that live when it started to break, and then I'm like, "Ooh, okay, yeah," because I just saw the part after he got thrown out, and I'm like, "Well, Scherzer's pretty drenched out here," and then sure enough, like, the umpire's like, "Oh, hell no!" You winding it out here. You're gone. You're gone.
It was like the second inning, dude.
Yep.
Nobody sweats that much. And he was glistening, dude.
He was hot too, man, because he argued for a good
3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
His glove across the dugout. I think it stuck to the wall.
Yeah. Everything he touched when he walked down the stairs.
He's walking down. He grabbed hold of the bar and he's like, "You've been thrown out."
The bar's glistening. Yeah.
Dude, that was so funny thoe. I was 3 times in the first half of the season he was already thrown out.
Yeah, man, that whole sticky gate, and you're trying to make sure you had control of the baseball, because all these different grips of pitches, and for me, that's what I equate the torpedo bats to that. Now, obviously, MLB had to step in and have some standards, I guess, or create some standards to where you're not walking out here looking like some sort of a grease ball. But but you can have a little bit of sticky. So I would rather have that and have the pitcher have a little bit more control on a pitcher or on a pitch than for him to lose control and catch a hitter with 98 in the head.
Like the I did a shorty on it. Remember the guy that got hit in the face? Man, you could tell as soon as it came out of his hand, it slid because he was trying to pitch a curveball.
Yep.
I mean, and you could tell it slid out of his fingers, and when it slid, man, he was like, and he come right there in that cheekbone. I think it fractured his cheekbone. I mean, I don't think he missed any games but he definitely was like, he got drilled in the face by it. It was like 94 directly to the face. But I mean, I agree with you. I think they need to have a little bit to get that control, and especially during like the 6th, 7th, eighth inning when everybody is, your arm's a little bit more fatigued, depending on how far your starter can go. So like say for a starter, that fourth, fifth, sixth inning, if they can make it that far, definitely agree with it then, because you want your pitcher to have a little bit of control so he doesn't hurt somebody. But like you said, this is just a way for MLB to safeten up the game a little bit, because let me tell you, a barrel of a bat flying at you in the infield, it's kind of scary. It really is, because you don't know where the bat's going to go, especially when you get jammed like that and it cracks right there. You just don't know. I mean, it can be a scary moment. So I do agree with it in many of the certain safety features of it, but I mean, yeah, just do a couple of things and let baseball be what baseball could be, with sticky substances and fat barrel bats, which I don't agree with fat barrel bats. That is cheating. Have you seen those ones that are really big, like this big? Dude, you can hit a golf ball with that. Yeah. I remember my coaches always trained us with broomsticks and golf balls. And man, when those bats came out, I was like, nope.
Nope. You have souped up wiffle ball bats.
Yeah, there's a metal wiffle ball bat. I was like, seriously. I remember kids coming out, couldn't hit the ball. We even had kids come out and they still couldn't hit the ball with that. I was like, y'all suck.
Well, Patrick, we have a few minutes left there, so before we hop on out, what is coming up for Bro Epic?
So we have not had good weather down here, so we are putting a pause on all our 1v1 tournament challenges until we can get some good weather. We're actually supposed to be rained out again this weekend, so we're hoping to get some in, but we'll keep you posted on our Friday wrap up when we do that. But we have a kickball game that's going to be put in, but we're doing that parents and kids. So we're going to do parents and kids mixed on each team. So we got a show coming out for that. We did our Coastal Elite Sports dodgeball game, so that should be released within the next couple of weeks. And then what else we got? I think that's it right now.
All right, and
basketball tournament. That's what it was. We're going to do a basketball tournament. So we're going to try to get that in. We're going to do that in a little bit of a different way than we anticipated. I think we're going to try to do a mix of flag football and basketball. So it'd be flag basketball.
All right, and so for us, images coming, Aaron, and then you pointed out that Patrick's on screen. It said something else about the image. So there are adjustments that are being made on this show. I have been pretty garbage this past week because I haven't been feeling well. So hopefully this week I'll be feeling a little bit better and we can start implementing some of those things.
Especially that thumbnail. I'll stay on him, Aaron. It's that thumbnail.
So, but yes, lots of things coming up. And then, of course, we are on the podcast as well. So make sure if you are not able to catch us through the webcast, when it's posted on the rest of the social medias, that you can catch us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast as well. So with that, everybody take care. That is what we are breathing on for this evening. Y'all make sure y'all visit the BOFA Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFA Sports Facebook page. Patrick had mentioned the NHL. We're gonna get more into both the NHL and the NBA here in the coming weeks, in the coming episodes, because the playoffs are about to start with those. Of course, in the NHL, like we had mentioned with Alex Ovechkin, he is, I think, 4 goals away now from passing Wayne Gretzky for.
Yeah, 3 goals from tying, 4 from passing.
Yeah, so
as of today.
Yeah, and so it's they're all about it up here, up here
And
in
it could be.
the area, and for good reason. So this is a big deal, and on top of that, the Capitals are the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. So
Probably because he's chasing that. Just pass it to Ovechkin. 140 million miles per hour.
that one time slap shot, man. Goodness.
Dude, have you ever saw him do a slap shot in slow motion?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how far his stick bends back when he does it?
Oh yeah. Oh, he gets everything in
Round, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, how is that stick not broken?
Oh,
that thing is like, it bends like.
Yeah. He gets all everything into the swing of the stick, man. I mean, so there's a lot of power and speed coming off of that shot. But yeah, I mean, but the Capitals are doing great in the East. During, like in most cases, when the President's Trophy is won, that of course does not mean that they're the ones who are going to win the championship. And of course, if you have a hot goalie, you can ride that all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So it'll be interesting to talk about these teams, what they're doing. The Florida Panthers are the defending champs right now. And over on the West, I guess the Winnipeg Jets, out of all teams,
the Jets.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. We'll get into the NBA.
Maybe New York's like, hey, how those Jets are doing.
And in the NBA, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who has the best record in the East right now. The OKC Thunder, best in the West. And we'll see if those teams can make a run to the NBA Finals. So we'll be able to talk about all that. Now we are into April, and those playoffs will be starting in this month. So look out for that. And of course, with everybody watching, we thank y'all for tuning in. Aaron, once again, thanks for coming in, bringing the energy. And we will see y'all next week. Everybody take care and have a great rest of the week.